event fundraising API. So easy API. Oh, get more info. Okay. Seriously?
Oh, you gotta sign up.
You have to email them? No, you have to email them. That's opening email, which I don't have set up on this computer. It's opening an email that's the subject line is event API info, please. To eventgirl at crowdrise.com is where that email will be sent. If you'd like, we can send that email, but again, they're not making it easy. Oh.
Raise more money with free mobile app. Fully integrated events.
All right, so it's totally up to you. We can send this email. That's not a big deal. Let's see, inbox. I'm the last person to send an email because I don't check my email that often. I just don't. Come on. Probably trying to collate all of my emails. Okay, here we go. Nope. Bigger email. Okay. What did I say it was? Event girl.
Crap, I forgot.
I think it's event girl at crowdrise.com, and the subject is event API info, please.
Query a company page associated. What's a curl? C-U-R-L.
Curl, yeah, curl is a command. It stands for CURL.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a DOS command that allows you to do basically do RESTful API or REST, and not even just API put operations like gets and puts and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And the pricing as well, right?
I'm sorry?
The pricing section, or we're just asking them the API part right now?
I only, this is the event girl. So I only care about their API because they don't have any information on it.
I have a hunch it's not going to be straightforward for sure because they're asking us to email it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think they have a readily available API. That's why they want to, get your email first and then.
What was the last one? There was JustGiving, CrowdRise, GoFundMe, and what was
something good. Hold on.
The Greater Good?
Yeah, Greater Good.
It may not have been a com. Was it a .com or .org? Oh, this one has a. Yeah, if they have an API, I'd be shocked. Look at how crappy their website is. Sorry, how very old their website is. We'll call it crappy. It's really old.
No, I'm not even going to look at it. It's got advertisements.
Yeah. It's like, circa, probably when it was first built in 1999. No. Yeah. They still have these tags on there. That's kind of like way old school.
If you look at the JustGiving developer API, it's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, that it is. That's really, the one I looked at last night. So, it is pretty
It's got companies, country, crowdfunding, currency, campaign, accounts.
Yep.
Nation.
It has OAuth, which is amazing. I wonder if it's OAuth 1 or 2, probably 2. Most likely it's OAuth 2, which is awesome because that, is curl. Well, that's where you saw the curl command. I was wondering if you saw like the screen I was working on at work, because I'm trying to figure out this one curl command. That's what I've been trying to do for like an hour. I'm like, what, am I showing my screen? I didn't think I was.
No, I was just looking at the.
I see now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just allows you to do this from the command line. That's all. You can also use a tool like Postman to do this. No big deal. Yeah. I tend to prefer Postman. Okay, so what else do they have? Oh, so I looked at this too. This is like if you have like a simple integration, but I do believe our integration is going to be a lot more than what they offer with a simple integration.
Yeah, create your donation as whether you charity.
Yeah, this is for like just redirecting people to JustGiving, and then having them redirect back to our presumably website, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think that use case fits for us, but we can, I won't shut the door on it, but what I would say is that it definitely looks like, oh, this is awesome. They even tell you,
yeah,
like the status of their services, like if it's up or down.
Yeah, I mean, they have also given. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say of the ones that I've seen so far, this one definitely looks more developer friendly than the other ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Postman. Yeah. Take me straight to the app. Okay. Yeah. Import as a copy. Oh, cool. They even give you the Postman project. So you can, coolness. You can work with, remember I was saying you can do that stuff in a tool called Postman? This is what I was talking about. So you can.
I actually got Postman, but like I don't know how to use it. I just got it because every developer has it.
You're funny. Oh goodness. So it allows you, you could set this up. You can run test cases in here. You can just test the API to make sure it's working. That URL is a variable. It's part of the environment. How come they didn't give you environment variables? Where's the environment? Hold on. I guess you have to set up your own environment. I use this all the time at work. Postman.
Right. I love it too.
Yeah.
How do you know what's the base URL?
You have to sign up, and they'll probably give you a base URL. Or if you're going against their sandbox, they probably have published it somewhere. No. I will say that probably requires a little bit of reading. Here we go.
Oh, no. There it is.
No, that wasn't it. I probably require, here we go. So this would be the base URL, right?
Right.
The sandbox.
Yeah.
But what about the next one? API?
That's the production one.
Production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have also given the information about the if you scroll down, scroll below, yeah, see testing your application. They've even provided the MasterCard and PayPal thing there.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Yeah.
I was doing. I was working on a project a couple years ago trying to piece PCI compliant, and one of the big problems was not having test credit cards. So that's appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think this is like the best it's gonna get. They have a full-featured API, what looks like pretty good documentation.
Yes.
A developer sandbox. What more can you ask for, right?
Yeah. And they have they've provided a possibility. I mean, there are two possibilities. One is the sandbox one, and one for the testing. It is the production one. So that's what we need. We can do our testing in the sandbox for the sandbox one, and then we'll go for the production one later.
Yep.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah. I can tell this is swagger. No, go lick your lips somewhere else.
Should we settle for this JustGiving API? Or do you want to?
Ultimately, it's up to your friend.
I'm sorry?
I think ultimately it's up to your friend who will need to agree that he's okay with 5% of donations going to JustGiving.
Right. Okay. So
right.
I need to ask him that.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's going to raise money on his side, and we are just supporting him. So it doesn't matter if there's a 5%. I mean, it's still helping towards the goal, right?
Yeah. The way I understood it from GoFundMe was, if you're raising for a certified charity, they charge 5% for them too. So it seems like regardless, it's going to be a 5% charge.
Right. So.
I wonder what SMS is doing. Like what? Oh. SMS codes for fundraisers. I think I understand what that is. Okay. Okay. I would try and use this one. That would be my inclination, just because it needs to be more full featured, well documented, and about the same cost as the other ones.
Yeah. Okay, so let's work on those user stories.
Okay. So now that we know which one of the APIs we might use, we can start writing stories based upon what those APIs offer versus what we want to do, right? So we know we want to, sorry, I don't know which tab is which. I'm just going to.
I was just about to ask you that.
It's like, it looks like a graphical glitch, but it's actually tabs.
Yep.
How do you figure out?
Yeah.
Control W will just close the one, but no, I don't want to close that one. Stay there. Oh yeah. When I don't know, I just open it again. Doesn't matter. Open it again. When there's not so many, you can actually play Scrabble in the tab bar. Try to make words out of the tab. Okay. So donate money. So what does that mean? Right? We need more stories on everything.
Yeah. I was thinking like, here's my idea. Like for donating blood, maybe to give donors some type of incentive in the form of like discounts, coupon, or whatever, so that you get companies involved and they can do their like advertisement for selling those discounts or coupons, and then the user also get to use those. So what do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that as part of MVP?
No, but it's somewhere in the future. I think it's good.
Okay.
Because we get the revenue if this goes, gonna explode or whatever, we will get revenue from companies who advertise on our app by posting those coupons, right?
So when you say revenue, do you mean that we would then donate that back to the charity? Like a matching kind of thing?
That is something we can talk about more. But right now, this is just idea that I just had.
Okay.
And how do you approach the companies for coupons and stuff?
We can add our word to your. Couldn't you add like well, that's just regular app ads. I don't know.
Let's worry about that later, I think.
Okay, so donating blood. We have a screen that says that has a button that says give blood. What do we want to do after that button is clicked, right? Do we want to, you've seen the Red Cross application where they have two selections for the nearest location or your another location. Do we want to do something like that, or just by default pop it up a map with your current location defaulted?
That one.
Okay. So okay. That would also means that the app, not to get too technical at this point, but the app will need to check for location services being turned on, and will offer permissions to location service. That's just for educational purpose for us. I'm just reiterating, the things I've learned that in order for
the intent resolution.
Yeah, in order for that the map to actually, you have to have don't you have to have permissions for the map?
Yes.
And you also have to have location services permission, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the intent resolution.
Yep. All besides the point, had nothing to do with writing the story, but it's just reinforcing learning for me. So, all right. So, what are you doing? Go sit down.
Is it chewy?
Go sit down, dude. Go sit down. Sorry. Okay, how do I say this? As a donor, when
I would like to view a map.
When
Yep.
Okay. So, Anusha, could you do me a favor? Can you write some acceptance criteria based upon that story? Like what what are we really looking for? Based upon what we just talked about, what would be the acceptance criteria? It would be that a map appears, I don't know. I'm not sure how to word that. You know what I mean?
So basically what we are saying is, like, for example, I am living in Texas right now. So if I select the donate blood option, then it should show me, sorry, not Texas, but I'm living in Dallas, Texas. So it should show me all the centers that are in Dallas, Texas.
Are we trying to go for a metro area or within 30 miles, within 20 miles? How do you want to do that?
Do you want to provide that option to the user? I mean, do you know the application that what could be the radius that he's looking for?
I mean, that's the. I think we should put that as an option for the user.
Okay, so and then what is the default radius?
30 miles.
30 miles.
30 miles is a lot. If you think about radius, 30 miles is a lot. Especially in the Orlando metro area, it can take you sometimes 2 hours to drive 30 miles.
Wow, really?
Yeah, traffic.
Maybe 10 miles for now, like 5, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 miles.
5
miles.
Yeah. 5 miles. Yeah, most people should live within 5 miles of somewhere they can donate blood. If not, then they can select 10 miles and then more and more and more.
Yeah, but there should be a way to inform them, right? For example, if there is no blood center within the 5 miles area, then he would simply exit the application. I mean, there is no blood
That's
center.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
So do we want the application to first check the 5 mile radius? If there's nothing on the map, go through the next largest radius, or just tell them that, show them the map that there's nothing there and give them the option to zoom out?
Or can we do this? I mean, if, for example, he's in Dallas, then we show all the centers that are in Dallas, and then give him an option of selecting which centers fall within 5 miles or 10 miles or 15 or whatever it is. The map should display all the centers within the Dallas area, and then you should have the option.
So we're talking about a metro area as opposed to a zip code. Because if you do like my zip code, then I have a very small zip code. I think this city is has a 1 mile radius. The city is small, right? But I know for a fact there's at least 6 blood places where you can either donate blood or get blood tested. Because I live in heaven's waiting place. There's a lot of older people here, so there's every kind of medical center you can imagine within walking distance of my house.
Yeah. So the thing is that we want to there should be a way to show it on the map that there are blood centers. It's just that it's not falling within the 5 mile radius.
Okay.
There should be a way. You should be aware that there are centers. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So that.
So we are not following the 5 mile radius thing. We're just going to show the map and say, here are the locations, right? Mm-hmm. And it should pick the one that's most convenient to you.
Yeah. I don't know how are we going to do that. I mean, there has to be
Yeah, if you're using Google Maps, I don't know if you can pick a metro area. You have to pick a zip code or a city, right?
Okay, can we do this?
You can say with the Google Maps, you don't have to say in a zip code. You can say one nearest this zip code or nearest to me. Like, have you ever looked for something and you're just find the nearest, I don't know, gas station, and it could be 20 miles away. It's,
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to say. That we can have that kind of a Google Map functionality within our application, which says find the nearest one, and that can even show miles from where he's standing currently to that location.
Okay, so that simplifies the story. So as a blood, I would like to select when I select the blood donation option, I would like to view a map of the nearest. That's what I said, of the nearest blood donation centers. There's another story. We're going to create this story. There's another one, right? So the next story is not just the nearest, but hold on, let me go back. Go backwards. Go backwards. How about just go backwards? Try to go backwards. I think there's another story that's different, that might be implemented different, but it's would seem like the same thing to the users, but it's not. So the next story would be like as a, oh boy, oh, sorry, this is obfuscated. There we go. Now I can see it. That's different, right? So if you're just looking for the nearest, you're looking for the nearest to where you currently are, right? If you're looking for blood donation centers in a specific location, then you're probably giving a zip code or a an address or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So they both will be some an option of the maps, but they will be implemented slightly different. And the did I just type over? I certainly did. Just typed over the one that no, I didn't. This isn't updated yet. Hold on. Where's number 12? There we go. There we go. So I'm gonna make these a I wonder if you can just drag and drop. That would be cool, huh? Oh, wouldn't you know?
So you've created 2 separate user stories for this?
Yep. One is for specific location and one is for the nearest location.
Specific location means you want to implement a search bar or something?
No, so, like zip code or like.
Yeah. So you're looking for a zip code, like the blood donation centers in Dallas, as opposed to the blood donation centers nearest me, my current location, right?
Okay. I'm just trying to visualize. So when I open my application, and it will get all the centers based on my current location, right?
Yes.
Nearest you. Yeah, I think there is there is a limit or a radius difference when you look for something nearest you, right? If you guys have, we all have Android phones, right? Mine is dead and I'm not even sure where my phone is right now. But if you say, show me like, show me the nearest 7-Eleven, it's going to show you all the 7-Elevens that it consider is nearest you, right? And that's kind of a nebulous distance, what is near you. As opposed to looking for 7-Elevens in Dallas. I can be in California looking for 7-Elevens in Dallas, right?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We need a search criteria, search bar or something, right? I mean, yes. If I want to look for blood centers in Chicago, how am I going to do that? I'm not going to scroll the whole map for the Chicago area.
Right. I mean, the map software itself has a input bar to it, right? Google Maps already has that. All you have to do is once you set what you're looking for, you can change the geographical location of what you're looking for without changing what exactly you're looking for.
Wait, so when you open the specific location, does it open up the Google Map?
It should, yeah. You should pass that to the map software, what you're looking for and where you're looking for it, right? Same thing with the Sunshine, right? Sunshine app we were looking for. No, that wasn't the one we were looking in the map. It was the toy app. The toy app, we open map, right? And yes. It was defaulted to like Mountain View, California or whatever, but you could change that and send in a different zip code, right? And it would open.
But how would the Google Map know that you're looking for donation centers?
That's something that you're gonna have to try and tell it.
Okay, so I would think you need to have a search bar, and then and then you get the information in the edit text, and you pass it to.
Well, why would you search for donation centers when you're always looking for donation centers?
No, Brendan, this is how what would happen. So when you click on the donate button, there has to be a hit to the web asking for the donation centers for that particular location. So for example, if I'm in Dallas right now, so it's going to fetch my latitude and longitude. That will go to the web. It will get the results from the web based on my latitude and longitude, and that will be displayed on the Google Maps when you first open the map. So there has to be something that he needs to see, right? Then there will be a search bar in the maps, wherein if you say Chicago, then there will be again a web hit, which will take a parameter as Chicago, and that will return all the donation centers in Chicago or a zip code or whatsoever location that you pass in.
Right. So that's assuming that we have a list of blood donation centers that we can map, right?
Yes.
So I see where you're going with that. So and rather than just using Google Maps to look for what it knows as blood donation centers, because like here's the map. You can go blood. Come on, blood. I forgot I had the I forgot I had an emulator that's blood donation center, right? And it pulls up all of these different blood donation centers, right? But if we have a specific list of blood donation centers, we want to only be able to plot to the map, then we can push that list to the mapping software so it'll plot just those centers. But if we just want to look for the nearest blood donation centers, we can push this search term to the map software and it'll just bring this up. They wouldn't have to do that search, right?
Yeah, we can do this through Place API as well. I mean,
right. Another thing is if I want to say blood donation centers near me, right?
Yeah, this is possible. But Brendan, the question is now, are we looking for any specific ones, or are we looking for the default ones that are already there?
Or any blood donation center?
Yeah, just any.
See, I just did blood donation centers near a zip code, and they just gave you, see how I told you I live in like a really a hospital friendly place. Look, just ridiculous how many blood donation centers there are. So, but what I'm saying is we can just send this search term to the Google Maps software from within our app and have it automatically pull this. They don't have to type this in. If they want a specific location, we might ask them for that location and then send that along with the search term blood donation centers to Maps, right?
Cool. Yeah.
And it'll pull it up.
I think I can work on that one. I think.
So there's two different ones, right? There's two different. The reason why I have two different stories because to me those are two different use cases, right? And then there's two different tests that are involved. Different meaning that you wouldn't test in the exact same way. They're very, very close, but you would not test in the exact same way.
Right. Hey. So you have two test cases for these two, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Dude, come here. Go sit down. Up here. Look, say hi.
How old is Chewy?
He's 9.
Oh, he's 9.
Yeah, say hi. Look. There he goes.
Oh.
He's like the classic pug.
But he's not even a pug. He's like a pugalier. But he does have a lot of pug features, but he has a lot of cavalier features too. He's more like a cavalier than he is like a pug. Silliness. How come you're being silly? You're messing with me, dude. Gotta work, okay? Okay? No, you can't have any apple pie. Get down. Lay down. Leave it. Okay, sorry guys. All right, so we have those two stories. They're under blood donation. So let's talk about the donate money, right?
Yes.
So this is kind of where I want to pare down what is expected in the POC. I think just to get our feet wet with the JustGiving API, we can set up a campaign, set up a just manually set up one campaign, and then set up like everything you need to do with that campaign so that we could use the API just for monetary donation, right? Just to prove that we can, one, use that API and actually see the donations flowing. And then the next iteration or the next release will be adding more campaigns, adding more fundraisers, stuff like that. So that's where, you know, I know everybody has some great ideas of where we can take the app. I just think that we should take baby steps. And the quickest way to get an MPV would be just to set up a campaign on the JustGiving website and use the APIs just to deal with the money donation, right? Just use that portion of the API. Because if you look at like all of the different things, all of the different portions of the API we would need to enable to fully utilize this, the fundraising capabilities with creating new fundraisers or fundraising events, creating new campaigns, creating teams, all of that. We'd never get to an MPV. That by definition is not an MPV.
Yeah.
Full-fledged, you know, application. So I just want to focus on, can we set up a campaign on the website and then use our app to donate money? That would
that sounds good.
Most simplest MPV, right?
Yeah.
And then the next iteration, okay, now we can do that, and that's big. Let me tell you, money donation, how you handle money is huge, right?
How are we going to take care of the security? Are we just going?
That's where I would rather contact JustGiving and ask how, you know, ask their recommendation of how to contact security, because honestly, I would feel more comfortable redirecting to their website for the donation. That way we don't have to worry about security. But I would feel more comfortable contacting them and asking them what have other people done. Otherwise, in order for PCI compliance, you want to look at what PCI compliance entails. It is not easy. Not hard, but it's not easy.
Which compliance talking about?
PCI.
PCI
compliance, and I will Google that and send you a link. PCI compliance. That's one. What's a big, okay, official PCI compliance.
Do they have a contact that
for PCI compliance?
No. I'm talking about JustGiving.
No, I have what you have, which is the website. So, and I'll send this to you. There's a ton of information on PCIcompliance.org. I'll just post that up in the
Slack.
Yeah. Sorry. At minimum, we need to secure the credit card transaction in flight, and oh God, I'm trying to remember. Ideally, we don't even want to send credit or store credit cards number. We want that credit card number to be tokenized on the device, and then what's transferred over to JustGiving is the token, not the actual credit card information.
What's a token?
A token is just like you would think. It's just like it sounds like. It's what you would. It's an algorithm that tokenizes. I don't know how to explain what a token is if you don't know what a token is. So it's an encrypted value that represents something, right? Or an encrypted string that represents something, right? And they call it a token. So I would like OAuth. You can take your username and password, tokenize it, encrypt it basically, and the only thing that passes between you and the site you're trying to authenticate is the token itself, right?
So you communicate. So in terms of transactions, you always communicate using tokens.
If you want to be completely secure, yep, you always want to do token.
Okay.
That's the most secure way of doing it. So I would ask them.
Okay.
Unfortunately for us, the security, like the real security piece of Android is actually the next half of the course. I was looking at that because somebody in channel suggested that I start the next course.
Right.
I mean the advanced course. So I was looking at it, and I'm hoping that. Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay. I need to stop opening my private email then.
I mean, I don't have to upload it, or I can just cut it out if you want.
Yeah, because I don't know what shows on that home screen. I don't think there's anything like too private, but it is my private email.
Right. Yeah. So let me know if, like, by the end of the meeting, if you want me to, if I can.
Yeah, I'm letting you know now. Yeah, like edit through that. Yeah, absolutely. Edit through anytime I've opened up my private email.
Okay.
So yeah, the security part of it is, I thought I saw it. No, I thought I saw in this course, like security. Maybe it's part of the larger.
Is this part of the nano degree?
I think it is. I really do think it is. I think, otherwise, I mean, yeah, I think there is there's something somewhere, and I'm trying to remember where I saw it, like somewhere on this site, and it's not easy to get to. I've seen it once, but somewhere on this site shows you the entire curriculum of the nano degree. Have you guys seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a PDF that you can actually download.
Okay. So if you go to nano degree, and then it's not easy to find, which is horrible, but where is it? Nano degree, and then this one, right? And then,
yeah, here, download syllabus.
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
If you look at, go up. Oh, sorry, go down, keep going. Keep going, keep going.
Oh, here we go, download syllabus, okay.
Yeah.
I guess it is easy to get to, but, okay, so developing, okay, oh no, Gradle, no, material design for, no, capstone. Okay, so this is the part that we're doing now, I guess, right?
Yes.
No, because this talks about popular movies. Anyway, maybe this is it. This is the part we're doing now, and then the next part is the one that I showed you. They're talking about different apps altogether. This is a popular movie app. That's a baking app. And then Gradle for Android. And I don't know why you would put that at that phase. Oh. So there isn't anything that specifically talks about security. Unbelievable. Okay, let's go back to writing stories. That's something that we'll need to research.
Yeah, Okay, I'll try my best to contact him and ask those questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go back to the
Board.
yeah, the board.
Okay. Let's just open it again. It still takes you back to where I was.
Okay, like if I want to tackle the 12 and 11, what, like, how do I even start? I mean, I know how to get started with the code, but how do I contribute? How do I show my work?
Oh, okay. So the first thing you would do, you were invited to Git, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing you would do is pull down the project in Git from Git, right?
Okay.
So, I think I've asked no, I was about to say, I better not have asked this computer so much because it doesn't even have 12 instances of this IDE open. I don't care how many browser tabs you have open. They're only relevant. Okay. Okay. I already have it open.
Already, please. Okay.
Sorry, that's my own app. So here we go for LLC. So this. Go. Gradle is so slow. I mean, so slow compared to Maven.
What's Maven?
Maven is another build system. It predated Gradle.
Right.
Used to build projects. Gradle is so excessively slow.
Man, there's just so many terminologies. Like Maven, Gradle. And we talked about Lombok.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lombok.
Lombok is just a library you can use to help minimize the amount of boilerplate code you're writing.
Okay. Shelly, one more thing. I actually downloaded the blood donation American
Red Cross.
Yeah, Red Cross. So what it says is like it does not not necessarily that we implement the way it's implemented over here, but what it does is it first asks you the date that you want to go for a blood donation. Then it asks you the time, and based on the time and the date, it pulls out the centers, whether that slot is available at that center or not.
Oh, so it's kind of like booking it.
Yeah, because, well, okay, so again, it depends on what we're trying to do on MVP 1. Are we trying to get that certificate or just show them where they need to call to set an appointment with them, right? Because it sounds like the Red Cross application will set the appointment for them.
Yeah.
Right. Which is not a bad idea. I'm just wondering if that's something we're trying to do during our MVP, or we want to put that on the backlog.
Maybe backlog. I think it's a good idea. But if we just want to have like the basics, like,
Okay, and how are we gonna be sure that the guy actually went for that blood donation that day?
So yeah, that's where I think what was a good implementation from the American Red Cross was what is some code they have there, participant code, donor code, sponsor code or something. I'm trying to remember because I'm thinking off the top of my head. Again, I put my phone down after the battery ran down a few hours ago, so I don't know where it is, and I won't be able to find it anytime soon.
Because for the money donation, it probably would be easier because once the amount goes through, we can get a confirmation that he made that donation. But for blood, there has to be some way that the guy actually went there.
Yeah. That's something to find out. And then we have to tie that back to JustGiving if we want to track it. Because we're trying to keep track of how many people have donated blood, and the only way that we could do that is if we are linked into a blood donation system of some type where we can get that confirmation back into our app.
Yeah.
Or have the donor do something in the app to confirm that they donated.
Like take a picture or something?
Well, no, something that's verifiable, right?
Yeah.
Like they donate and then input like a donor code or something that we can verify with the donation center. And then how do we do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So blood donation is seeming like it's a bigger deal than we thought, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can definitely get people to donate, but verifying that they donated and keeping track of who donated, it seems like it's bigger than a bread box. Not to discourage us from trying, because at some point we got to do it anyway. But for now, let's see if we can just get the Give Blood button to then or pop up a list of blood donation centers, right? And then we can talk to your friend to figure out how he's tracked blood donations in the past, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not new to them, right? You were looking at what I did, but what I did was I went, because I already had it, I went and I just did a pull request to get what's out there. I think Troy was trying to upload to a different project, one that's called Donate.
Yeah, actually, I had a word with him. He actually is probably doing push repository, which already exists. He needs to pull that. He needs to clone.
Yeah, he has to pull it. Yeah, he has. Well, first, if he didn't, he started. We were doing the two different things at the same time, right? So he just started, and I was like, okay, let me put a skeleton one out there. And he's like, no, Firebase will take care of it. I'm like, but let me put a skeleton project on Git so you can pull it and then do what you're doing. But he was already on, like, I'd already taken off doing the things he was doing. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just put one out there and we can settle it on the back end.
Yeah.
I think that settling it on the back end part is what he's having a problem with. But basically what he needs to do, he needs to go here and say, where is it? Create Git repo. Create the same repo that's on GitHub, and then do a pull request. While or either he can. The way I've done it before is I've shelved my current changes and then pull request, or just do a pull request and merge any differences, but. The other thing that I recommend that he could do is just send me, like, zip up his project and send it to me, and I can do all that and upload it. And then don't do anything until I get it all uploaded. Then he can pull it down and continue on, right?
Right.
Yeah, I actually told him to create a branch underneath the master and then upload its code there on that branch, so that by that way it's not in the master and he can continue working on that branch. But he was having some problems. So he actually told me that he would have a word with me in the evening, but I don't know if he's free tonight or not.
Yeah. Oh, that's my work GitHub. So did he put it? I saw that there was a couple things not.
That's my comment. I was actually checking it from my side if it goes through.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sample check. You can delete that part. I mean, that's just a log statement in main activity just to see if it's working or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've not merged it. It's a separate branch altogether. So
yeah. You don't want to do a pull request? I can delete it?
No, you can delete it, yeah.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, you're right. He does need to create a separate branch, but it would be nice if we can get him on here, because either way it go, I think it would be difficult to try and talk this out during chat.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so you were asking Brendan if you wanted to do stories 12, 11,
11, yeah.
Okay, so let's say I didn't have this, and we're gonna just go with I don't have this. In your if you want to walk through it with me, we can get you set up now.
I can remember it.
Okay. Go to do get project from GitHub, right? Put the URL for that project here.
Yep.
.git. You don't even have to do .get, but put the URL for that project here.
Yep.
And I'll just put it on my desktop, right? And then the parent folder where you want to copy the repo and clone it.
Okay.
Okay. Once you clone it, once you press clone, it'll you can open the project and it'll start this crazy Gradle thingy again. Sorry, I say crazy because Gradle is, to me, slow as all get out.
Yeah, it is. Whenever you add any libraries, it takes a lot of time to sync at times.
Yep. And I don't like XML as a general rule, as a domain specific language. I think there are better ones than to use than XML, like JSON. So I'm not a fan of Maven, but it is faster than Gradle, much faster than Gradle. So then once you have the project, this is another thing. It doesn't automatically resolve dependencies. You guys have seen this over and over again when pulling up sample code where it won't resolve R, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I do is I'll just clean project and then rebuild.
Yeah.
Sometimes it fixes the issue.
Yeah, the part of that actually fixes the issue is the part where it goes out and resolve the dependencies, which is what it's doing now. Man, that took forever. See, that's the part of the build that that's the part of the build that gets you your dependencies, but it's just slow, and I better stop complaining about it. But once you're there, you're done. You see, you have your 4LLC app. You can start working on it. Okay.
So for the 11 and 12, do I write it in a function? So and then I'll test it, and I'll write a test case for 11 and 12.
So 11 and 12 are, to me, those are intents, right?
Right.
And let me see if I can remember intents. It's an implicit intent, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it will be an implicit, probably the same implicit intent, but what information you send with that implicit intent is different based upon the use case, right?
Yes.
Follow me so far?
Yes.
In some cases, in one case, you're going to send a zip code, and in the other case, you're going to send
current location.
Your current location and a search string blood donation, right? Mm-hmm. Or if you can find out how to send the nearest me, search, you probably can just Google that, how to, create an intent to do a nearest me search in Google Maps, right?
Right.
So yeah.
So would I write this in the main activity, or do I want to create a separate file?
I would create a separate file and send it to that. Let me see.
Because I think I know how to write the code. It's just that I don't know how to.
Don't worry about, here's the thing. Don't worry about where you write it right now. We can always refactor to make it, to move it.
Okay.
Just don't worry about that right now. Just get it working, and then we'll refactor.
Okay.
Yep, we'll refactor.
And I will try to write the test case for those, because I've never wrote a test before.
Yeah. So unfortunately, our tests are probably going to be manual tests, because manual meaning somebody's going to actually launch the emulator and just continue trying and test it in different combinations, because I personally don't know enough about Espresso or Android UI testing, and I guess I could take the time to learn because there is a lesson on it in the next course, and I already signed up for that course, so I guess I could go through getting up to speed on Espresso, but to the extent that you need to write unit tests for your functions, you should be able to do that, right?
Yeah, I will try to do that. Yeah, I think it's doable for me.
Okay, so all right, so you're gonna take those two.
Yes.
You can grab them off of the board. Just send them to yourselves. And then that was the donate blood, right?
Yes.
And donate money is the last one. I think I'm gonna have the mental fortitude to try and go through tonight. So,
hold on, I'm just gonna put it on mute.
Okay.
Right.
So here's a question, Anuja. What if initially we only accept PayPal? Or Brendan, what if we only accept PayPal?
I mean, as long as it's secure.
That makes it more secure. We're not actually capturing credit card information. It'll redirect them to the PayPal site. Or it'll open like the PayPal, I'll show you what I mean by it'll redirect them to PayPal and then bring them back into our application is what it should do.
Right. So you're saying when the donor clicks on donate fund, it transfers the user to the PayPal.
Yeah, to the PayPal mobile site. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Ravelry. There's always something on Ravelry I want to buy. So this works very similar on mobile as well. So let's say I wanted to.
By the way, did I tell you that I'm from New Zealand?
Yeah, you did. You did. Or were you talking to me? Because I know you told me.
Yes. I was talking to you,
yeah. So in that application, I clicked checked out. It's transferring me over the PayPal or whatever. and I log into PayPal. You don't even have to log into PayPal. I log into PayPal because I have all my credit cards and all that signed up in PayPal, but you can use PayPal without actually logging into PayPal, right? You would put your credit card number on the PayPal site, right? Rather than in our application. So now that I've said buy, it automatically redirects me back to the merchant.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. What is it? No. Or it should automatically redirect me back to the merchant. There. And now this is the stuff that I bought. So that would be interesting because we would be opening a web view in our application, I guess, and then sending that information back to whatever information from that website, sending it back to the application or the intent that called it.
But we were doing this through the JustGiving API, right?
Yeah, would we be using the JustGiving API? At that point, we really don't need it for donations if we're collecting through PayPal. But we could do it through the JustGiving API. Then the question becomes, what would be the application flow at that point? So we would send them we would say pay by PayPal, send sorry, let me go back to that JustGiving.
No, you're right. We don't need the JustGiving thing for this.
If we were just doing PayPal, no, we wouldn't. But we also would still have fees because, well, no, I know that there is a not-for-profit. There's a not-for-profit option with PayPal now. One of the organizations, small, just me and my friends, were doing some charity, and we're using PayPal to collect donations. But so let's look at that API real quick and see what the endpoint is for, like, donation. Query specific donations by ID and reference. No. Query and create events. Fundraising, create, edit, manage event, fundraising page, leaderboards. Account, query users. Where? So we do want to do it through this site because we wanted to keep track of all the donations we have, right? But I don't see currency list. I don't.
We can't do that using PayPal API if we're paying.
Well, if you look here, it seems to give the impression that you can use PayPal with this site, right?
Yeah, it has its credentials for sandboxing at the bottom.
Yeah, it has credentials for sandboxing PayPal. So, I'm wondering how that works.
So wait, so you pay JustGiving and JustGiving pay PayPal?
No, they probably don't pay PayPal at all. You pay you
okay, got it. You use PayPal to pay JustGiving.
Yeah. But I don't see in the API where donation is just querying the donation. It's not, well, donation token. Hold on. We're posting a donation here. I don't know. I don't see in the API where you're actually posting a donation. I see where you're using a lot of GET operations to get information about a donation.
No, but there has to be a way, Shelly, because they are giving.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Credentials.
There has to be a way, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
Let me ask them what's the rest of the question they're about to ask him.
Okay. What's the rest of the question?
The the PCI compliance, security, secure credit card transactions.
Yeah, and I think that becomes a non-issue if we don't actually do credit card processing. We let someone else do it.
Okay.
Which is why I would suggest not actually collecting credit card numbers, but redirecting them to PayPal.
Okay. Also, the next question would be is how do I use a donor use PayPal account to pay JustGiving, right?
Right. So that's what I'm trying to find here in the API. It supports PayPal donations, but I've not seen yet in the API which one of those API endpoints will we would use in our application to post that donation or to redirect them to a donation. That might be a question we need to ask JustGiving. Like, okay, so what is the flow of the donation part, right?
Right.
So we have in our application we have a button that says donate. We call your API for what purpose, which endpoint, what do we send that to that endpoint, and then what happens to our customer once the response comes back? Do we then redirect them to PayPal with information that automatically gets them into the JustGiving account for PayPal with a particular campaign, and they just pay through PayPal, posting it to that campaign? How does that work flow, you know?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay.
So whenever you make that call, I would love to be on that call. Unfortunately, tomorrow I can't. Sorry.
Yeah, let me try to schedule a meeting with them on Friday. Do you want to do Friday or Thursdays? Oh no, I can't do Thursdays. Friday.
That's okay. Let me look. So I can do Friday after 3:30.
Friday after 3:30. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Eastern.
I get off work at about 5.
That's fine.
So yeah.
So they're also in the Netherlands, right? So we got to keep that in mind.
What?
Aren't they in the Netherlands? Aren't they in the, isn't that the domain NL? Hold on. Yeah. Oh, maybe they're not. Maybe there is a JustGiving Netherlands. Oh, okay. No, that's who they are.
Oh wow! Right? So they're in Netherlands. Great.
Right? Am I seeing that right? They're in the Netherlands. They're based in the Netherlands, right? Let's see. There's usually an about us or about JustGiving. Oh no, who we are. Okay.
Our donation application. Can we schedule a meeting with the team at?
Let's see, help and support.
Thanks.
Oh, they have text donations too. That's cool. Join us. Operating, understanding. Email. Oh, get in touch. Email. Oh. Is it with these people who don't have phone numbers where you can actually call them? They don't actually have a phone number to contact them. They look like they only work through email. Yeah, the only thing in their contact us is an email. But you can always email, ask them to set up time to call you.
Yeah. Oh, they're based in London, actually.
Oh, in London? Okay. So there's a time zone difference, right? What is that time zone difference? Hey, Google, what's the time zone in London as compared to Florida?
Sorry, I can't help with that yet.
Well, no thank you.
Rejected. Contact.
Hey Google, what's the time difference between Florida and London?
London, UK is 5 hours ahead of Tallahassee, Florida.
There we go. 5 hours ahead. So always, it's all in how you ask the question.
Yes.
So it seems like we're gonna have to do that like one morning before work. If they're 5 hours ahead, right?
Yeah. 5 hours ahead. So what time of day? Oh.
So it's, yeah.
So how are we going to do this if we're going to schedule a meeting?
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. It's 2 p.m. there.
Yeah.
You can't have my food. You got your own food. Me too. Okay. So I've hit my limit. I think we have enough money donations. I think we need to do a little bit more research. Yes. But you know what we want to do, right? Can we at least agree that for now, the best and safest way to collect donation is through PayPal because they support it?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to look at something, Shelly?
Hmm?
Do you want me to look at something?
Okay. What are you looking at?
Anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it would really help if we just kind of got our hands around like if we told somebody to test this, they would have to know what done looks like, right? So if you want to take a stab at describing, what the screen does when it's done, right? That would help on any one of those stories. I don't care which one it is. It could be the login story for all I care, just so that somebody else can pick up the story once it's in verify it, not the same person who wrote it or who developed it, right? Mm-hmm. What else? Sorry,
Okay, what's on the?
So I think we need to start defining those. And if you can take a first pass at that, that would be great. I think I'm going to do some tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow, my day is all booked. But maybe Thursday, I'll try to look at some of the stories and imagine what done looks like on those stories, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you just give me an example of what exactly are we looking for at?
Right. So let's see. Don't laugh. I'm going to open it again. Where does this go? Oh, this goes over near this one, right? Right. This is a sub of this, right? Okay. So let's take oh, I don't really know which one is a good one. Oh, okay. So let's take this one about the nearest blood centers, right? So we know that when it's done, the screen will display a map and will show whatever Google determines is the quote nearest blood centers. And right now we're just going with any blood donation center, not any specific center, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what done looks like. But we need to describe that or write that down somewhere because I'm just explaining it. We'll describe or write that down somewhere so that, let's say, who's working on this one? You're working on this one, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you work on this and then we give it to Troy to verify it. He has to know what it's supposed to do, right?
Oh.
He has to know what
it's kind of like a documentation, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a documentation.
No, it's just a description of what done looks like. What does this screen have to do for him to accept it as done? It has to show a map. It has to show nearest blood centers. Basically, that's just the basics, right?
Right. So, but how would Troy test it? Do I have to like have a UI button on the screen so he can?
Yeah, even if you have to build a basic button on a screen, that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because we can change the UI.
Or do I want to have like just write the function and then have the test prove that the function is working correctly?
You can do that too.
Okay, got it.
I would say do both, because you want to make sure that clicking a button sends you to the right intent, right?
Yep.
So, but you can do like a basic UI for that that replaces, that will be replaced rather with what Aaron is working on later. Because all you really need for your UI is two buttons: one, give blood; the other one, donate blood. Right? That's it. That's all you need, right? And then he can come back later and superimpose or replace that basic UI with his more, elaborate UI that he has mocked up, right?
Right. Okay, sounds good.
All right. So I have hit my limit.
Yeah. I still got to finish up the SQLite.
SQLite. You guys are going to be mad because that's just not the way you will develop going forward. Just won't. I mean, you might have to modify an app that has the that in there, but I would say, I just hit my ankle again. Ouch. Ouch. Right on the bone. Oh, Jesus. That hurt. Sorry, especially having hit it.
Just let it recover.
Well, it didn't recover from the first time I hit it, and I hit it again. Oh, it's going to be bruised. What was I saying? Oh, me? If I came across an app that had SQL wired to the UI, I would refactor that away. Would just refactor it away altogether. In fact, the very next lesson is going to piss you off, but the very next lesson, they're going to tell you not to do it the way you just did it and to put a content provider in between the database and the UI. So even though it's just a content provider used by your own application, it's not externally exposed. It's just an internal content provider. So, and then when you start learning about either Room or Realm, it does away with all of the SQL stuff, and it abstracts that away, and you use an ORM. So,
have you ever used Realm yourself?
No, but I've used different ORMs. I've used from .NET to the different ORMs in Java. The one I'm using right now is Spring Data JPA, but I've used Hibernate, which Spring Data JPA is based upon. I've used Hibernate. I've used iBatis. I've used and a couple others. So I've used a few ORMs.
Right.
And they all do the same thing. So.
All right. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna study. So.
Edit that. Please edit out my personal email, and I'll try to be mindful of that when I'm sharing.
Yeah. Are you talking about the pop-up?
Anytime I showed you my email.
Okay. No worries. Okay. All right, cool. So, we're not gonna meet tomorrow, right?
No, that's something we need to post in the channel, that we're not meeting every day, and then we need to decide when we're going to meet. It shouldn't be too infrequently, but it doesn't have to be every day.
I would say maybe like Tuesday and Fridays, or like Monday. I don't know. Let's decide. I'll post.
I would say Sundays and Thursdays, because I mean, just about everybody is winding down from a weekend on Sunday and might have a few minutes to meet. Not everybody can meet on a Friday night, or you won't get, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are just too close together. You have too much of a long track of time in between.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are just I don't know. Mondays are always hectic, so
yeah.
Do
so
Monday and Thursday.
Maybe Wednesday.
Wednesday and
Wednesday and Sunday.
Wednesday and Sunday too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go for Wednesday and
But
Sunday.
does that mean we're gonna meet tomorrow?
No, except for tomorrow.
Sorry.
All right. So where do you want me to write that?
I would write it in the. I don't see the other tool. It had a place for acceptance tests, right? This one doesn't. You just don't have a place. The only place you have really is with. Let's see. You can add a comment, assign, attachment, link, tag. I don't know what that is. I would add it in here in the description.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it uses Markdown, which is cool. So you can really get elaborate if you really, really want to.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing, Shelley. If you look at the 11 and 12 issues, the user stories, do I have to assign it to a sprint?
I would just go ahead and put it on a sprint. We're really not using sprints, but that's fine. But I would you assigned it to yourself. Yeah. We're not really using sprints because if you look at that sprint, I think it ends on this coming Thursday. I wanted to keep track of how long it took us to do certain things, or just put a mark in the sand. And I still might go back and assign everything to sprint 1, or everything we know we're working on the sprint 1. And as they're being closed, that's fine. That way we can keep track of when things were done, like in what sprint things were done and what time frame or whatever. But I only have the one sprint set up. So to answer your question, yeah, but we only may have one sprint, or I might create another sprint after this one is over and push everything that's not done over to the next sprint. That's the way we should do it. But
okay.
That's absolutely the way we should do it. But
yeah. Let's try to mimic like the real world as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's put those on the board. This is and so we can see what's unscheduled versus what's there's a ton of stuff unscheduled. What basically that perfect. Yeah, put it as part of sprint 1. That way we know exactly what's being worked on and by whom.
Right. If I put 11 or 12 in progress, what does that mean?
That means you're currently working on it.
Yeah.
And verify means somebody has to test it.
Oh, okay.
And then done means it's done.
Okay. So sprint 1, it's 2 weeks, right?
It's sprint 1 was originally until this Friday, because our original intent was just to get the stories groomed, but not actually start any coding. But I can change when sprint 1 ends. Now it ends on the 9th.
Okay. Cool.
We're good. Okay. So this, that's interesting. That kind of shows you where you are. There's more stuff. You can see that down here. I don't know. I don't understand why these are uncharacterized. Like why they're not linked properly for some reason. You know what I mean? So they're supposed to be on the task board. You can see them as a subtask of something, but on this board, you don't see this number 4 as a swim lane. And I'm not sure why you don't see number 4 as a swim lane. Like, what is it? That's why. This is why. It's not in a sprint. So now that number 4 is part of this sprint, you still don't see it as a swim lane. See, this is supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be a swim lane. Oh, I know why. No, that's a user story. I am so confused right now because, like, why wouldn't it? Why is everything? You know what I mean? Why isn't that showing as a swim lane?
Okay. So on my
Oh,
screen,
I know why. I know. Because this is no. I thought I knew.
task. Oh,
No,
it's task.
this is an epic. We said this was an epic. So if that's an epic, then these need to be stories. And then if you want to put tasks under those stories, you can. Like, so we're saying this is the story, but the task would be the actual things you did to make this story true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that you're going, this is blood donation. Okay. So, like, for example, this story here, we know we're going to contact, this is a story. We're going to contact these folks, right? That's something we said we're going to do, right?
Yes.
So that would be a task under that story. So if we go back to the Agile board, and I'm not done yet, I'm going to fix the other ones. Okay. So, nope, not there yet. This has to be a story. Yeah, this is a story. Okay. All right. And donate blood is actually an epic, so we're not going to. We're only going to assign the stories to a sprint. Okay, so where's that? This is a task under. Nope. This is actually a task under this story, I think. Oh, I will fix that. Sorry, something about this doesn't make sense. Let's go back to the issues board. I was trying to show you with this one. Okay, with this story. Yeah, let's just put this story in on the sprint so that I can show you what I mean. So now you have a story for all these things, right?
Yes.
And you are going to add a task on this story to contact
okay.
So that's your task, right? And let's say you send that email, then you would move it to in progress. Or I sent the email, right? Did I send an email? Did I type an email? I typed an email.
Right.
Yeah, but
No. That was CrowdWise. That was CrowdWise. That was not giving. JustGiving. So let's say you take this story, so you send an email, so it's in progress, right? And there will be no verification to this, but it will be in progress until we're done talking to them and get the information we need, and then we'll move it to done.
Okay.
But I'm just going to leave that task there for someone. So for this one, let's say your first task was to create
implicit intent or something, right?
yeah.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Create a temp UI with the
Button.
Yep.
Button.
Right. And then the next thing you're going to do is I don't know.
First, okay, so where does
But
the
that's the intent. I mean, that's the purpose of the task.
Okay.
Just to give a broad strokes, not any detail. The thing about Agile, if you've have you read the Agile Manifesto yet?
No, not yet. I need to read it.
Read it. One of the best parts of the Agile Manifesto is that we prefer working software over documentation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been in software engineering for a long time, you'll realize how liberating that is. because like I said, with Waterfall, it was all about documentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter whether you had bugs in your software as long as you documented them. Yeah. I'm going to give you a task to read the Agile Manifesto.
Yeah. So, okay, so you created the 15. Do I have to add myself to it to say that I'm assigned to this or something like that?
Which one?
15. The one that you just created.
Yeah, you can go here and assign it to yourself. I think there is a way that you can just grab it. Oh, you just did it.
Yeah, I just did it.
Then,
okay. I see how Scrum works now. I think it's becoming more clearer and clearer for me.
So, you also need to create unit tests, right? Right?
Yes.
I actually want to learn that.
I do too. Testing, and I think I'm gonna skip ahead to that lesson in the advanced course. You need to let's just go with that right now.
Yeah.
You obviously have to create the intents, but
we don't write those.
You can do that. Yeah, you don't have to be specific. You just create. There you go. And I knew there was a way to do it from this screen. There you go. So move something to in progress so that people know what you're currently working on.
Cool.
The temporary UI, I would say that no one has to verify that because that's not I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah, it's just temporary.
If it has 2 buttons on it, don't really care. I would say though, okay, so we haven't really set the ground rules for checking stuff in.
Yeah.
We did say everybody has to create their own branch and check into your branch. What I haven't said yet that I want made very clear is you need to check into your branch once just before you get up from coding. Don't leave any either unfinished or finished code on your personal laptop checking into Git, because I can't tell you how many times I've worked with somebody who has worked on something for a week or 2 and then their hard drive crashed or they accidentally deleted it or something happened to it. So as a general rule, just check in every day. When you're done coding, just do a push. As long as it's not broken, like you are literally can't compile, then just push it. Yeah.
Right. So
in your own branch, so it shouldn't matter.
Right. So do I, I'm not very familiar with GitHub, but do I have to fork the?
Nope, you just create a branch. So
create a branch? Okay.
This is where I wanted to walk you through it. Because there's an easy way in Android Studio to create a branch.
Actually, I was asking you that, Sherry, because I actually follow the GitHub for desktop version, and I don't. Easy, but I've never done it through Android Studio, so that's what I was helping.
Okay. So right now I'm at master, right? This says right there. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Where I have get master. I want to get create a new branch. I create a new branch. I call it Shelly, whatever. Oops, sorry. We don't have a get ignore file. We'll fix that. Shelly, right? That's not the branch I would use. I wouldn't name it myself. I would name it based upon the feature that I'm working on, so people know what it is. It's not just my personal branch I'm working on. Please don't do this to me. please don't call it 4LLC/18. That means nothing, right? Call it something that people can at a glance know what it is, right? Anyway, for now, we'll just call it Shelly, right? So now I have a new branch, and if I wanted to push to that branch, let's see, what do I have here? Oh, okay. I don't know what this file is, but we're gonna push it to my branch anyway. You can't commit or push without a commit message. That's good. Done. That's all. That's all it takes to create a new branch. So now, sorry. So now, what? Oh, okay. Let's open a new tab. I'm sure I have it open somewhere else, but it doesn't matter.
Just create another one.
Yeah. Eventually, I'll close them all. Now you see there's another branch called Shelly.
Cool.
It's that easy. I don't use any other tool other than my IDE. Literally, I got rid of all the other extraneous tools.
Yeah, I actually started off with that, so I'm quite familiar with that. I need to learn this.
Yeah, I tried to use the Git software. It was just cumbersome for me. So I found that what I can't do in the IDE, I can do on the command line, but mostly I just do it in the IDE.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question for me. Who's going to be like the gatekeeper for the real code?
We all are. We're going to start doing code reviews in a while.
Okay, good.
We have enough code to review.
Sweet. Awesome. All right.
All right, guys. No more last questions because you're like on last question 25.
I always got questions for you, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's already almost 9:40 now.
Yeah. All right, cool. It was a good meeting.
Don't forget to edit this video, take out any screen that shows my personal email.
Yes, will do. Okay. All right, cool.
All right.
We'll see you Sunday then.
Of course, you're going to ask questions before then, and I anticipate it, and I welcome it.
Yep.
But we're not having another video meeting until Sunday.
Yes.
In time?
All right, cool. I'll see you guys.
All right, see you. Good night.
Yeah.